Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 animated movies of all time. This is going to be a little bit different from my last list, about the sitcoms. This one is going to be in chronological order because I really can't decide what order I like them in. Like, I know my number one choice, but as for the rest of it, I really don't know. So I'm just going to do chronologically. So starting off with 1994, we have The Lion King. Who doesn't love The Lion King? It's a great movie. Everybody loves that movie. From the soundtrack to the voice acting to the animation to the script, it's incredible. I really feel like, everything about it has already been said. I can't really add much to the discussion. Um, it's just great and has endless rewatchability to it. Moving on to Toy Story number one, which came out in 1995. This movie is a timeless classic. Even though the computer animation did not age as well as I remember, it still holds a special place in my heart. The chemistry between Woody and Buzz is so great. You almost forget that they're not real and they're just toys. The humor is very good. It's one of those movies that are kids' movies, but they treat the kids like intelligence with respect, and the adults could enjoy it too. Which I feel like applies to every movie on this list. Doesn't feel the need to talk down to kids, which is, why adults love these movies. So yeah, being Pixar's first ever movie, they really knocked that out of the park. I feel like Pixar has been sliding these past couple years. I feel like they really haven't had a hit since Soul. Um, so maybe they should do what Toy Story did. Create an intelligent and funny, heartwarming story that actually respects its child audience instead of talking down to them. Moving on to 1997's Princess Mononoke. This is a Japanese anime movie by Miyazaki, one of the greatest animation directors of all time, probably the greatest animation director of all time. Who am I kidding? Um, just a very epic fantasy story. It's a bit violent though. Like I wouldn't recommend young kids watching it. You get like decapitations, people getting stabbed, lots of blood. But I think if you're over the age of 10, you can enjoy it. Um, the animation is just beautiful. How they combine the computer generation with the hand drawn stuff. It just looks great. The characters are well developed. It has a really nice environmental message, and they show like there's really none of the characters are evil per se. They just have different motives based on what they think is right. Really see in a movie like this. The way that Miyazaki implements kind of ancient Japanese culture into his movies is really cool too. Like I don't really know much about it, but from what I've read, it's very inspired by like mythology and stuff. So just great stuff. And I think the English dub is actually really good. I feel like I don't get that with a lot of anime, but for this one, it is. For this and like my other animes on this list, if you're not a big anime fan, I think you still might like it. It doesn't really have like the cliches that other animes have. With the goofy humor and stuff like that. Next up is Spirited Away, which came out in 2001, also by the legend Miyazaki. Um, you know, like I said, like Lion King, really everything about this movie has already been said. It's incredible, from the music to the animation. Uh, the animation is really thrilling too, and every like frame of it is just fused with creativity. Stuff you really can't find elsewhere. And the way the movie makes me feel is very unique. Like it makes me feel like I'm a kid again. And it's sad. The feeling is sad, but it's also happy and nostalgic. Even though I didn't even see the movie till I was like 15, it brings me back somehow. I really don't know how to describe the feeling, but the ending scene always moves me, and I still don't know why. This brings me back to like very just blurry memories of my early childhood. Well, everything just seemed a lot more simple. Moving on to Monsters Inc., which also came out in 2001. This movie is hilarious, obviously. I love John Goodman and Billy Crystal's voice acting. They're just hilarious. Steve Buscemi is a great villain. Um, but the main heart of the story is the relationship between Sully and Boo. being scared of humans their whole lives, and but never actually, you know, taking a chance to talk to them is a very, good example of being afraid of people who are different from you. And I think the show does it. I mean, the movie does it in a very subtle way. It doesn't feel like it's preaching at you. Still get the point across, and it's just a very sweet friendship they make. And my man Mike Wazowski always has his back. Another great friendship there. And the animation aged pretty well. Me and my mom saw it in theaters a couple years ago because they brought it back for its like 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary or 30th anniversary. I don't know. They brought it back for something. So it came out in 2001. It was probably the 30th anniversary. Um, 20th. I'm such an idiot. It was 20th. It still looked great on the big screen. It's just one of those timeless classics that I feel like people are gonna be watching 100 years from now. Moving on to 2004, another one of Miyazaki's movies, Howl's Moving Castle. So this one is very just magical, like Spirited Away, makes you feel things, but it's much more adventurous and action-packed, like Princess Mononoke. Spirited Away lacks action, it definitely has action, but Howl's Moving Castle is this endless sort of thrill ride, and you can't really, you're just kind of watching it unfold. I love the relationship between Howl and the main protagonist. I forgot her name. And they really tackle stuff like, what's it like to become old? You become Rizel and stuff. And it's really interesting. I've only seen it once, but I really want to watch it again. It's great. Moving on to Up in 2009, which definitely gets the award for best opening to a movie, best first 5 minutes of an animated movie ever. How you see this man fall in love with this woman, they're both young kids, and they grow old together, live this beautiful life, and she dies, and he doesn't really know what to do without her. And then he has this friendship with this little boy, and they have the big balloon house. It goes to this place in South Africa, I forgot what it's called, and they have a great adventure with robots and stuff. It's great, wonderful movie. I love Ed Asner's voice acting. He plays the grumpy yet caring old man role very well, and his relationship with the little boy was cool too. I'm really bad with names. Forgot the little boy's name. Moving on to 2010, this is my favorite animated movie of all time. It's called Toy Story 3. It's not often when the third movie in a series is the best of all time, but it is. Um, Man, what can I not say about this movie? Everything about it works. The humor, spot on, clever, in a way where children could enjoy it, but adults could also enjoy it. It gets funnier as an adult, I think. Not that it's dirty, it just you get the jokes more. And it has a very good message of growing up and letting go of your childhood and how tough that has to be, and just embracing the next chapter of your life. We see the parallel between Andy doing that by going to college and the toys doing that by going to the new owner. It's also kind of terrifying. I saw the movie when it came out and I was 7. I couldn't sleep. That scene where they were about to be crushed by that garbage thing was traumatizing. I was like, holy shit, the toys almost died. Imagine if they did though. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. So is by far my favorite villain of the Toy Story franchise. Um, he's very complex. You know why he's doing the things he does, but instead of turning to a more positive side, he becomes evil, and he's like, you know what? None of you get to be with your owners. You're trapped in here in this apocalyptic daycare prison thing. It's a thrilling movie. I was not ready for that when I was 7. I'm trying to escape with the creepy monkey with the symbols. It was awesome. Be torturing Ken by ripping up his stupid clothes is comedy gold. Just the voice acting from everybody is great. Woody and Buzz have great chemistry as always, and it's about friendship. They stick together to the end. They have really simple themes, but well executed, I'd say. It's the movie I can never get tired of. My favorite animated movie of all time. Moving on to the next one, which is Coco, which came out in 2017. So, hi Momo. Oh, he jumped down. You know, look a little tail. Anyway, Coco means a little bit more to me because it's a movie about a boy dealing with his grandmother's dementia when it comes down to it. And my grandma had dementia, so it's a little way for me to relate to the character. Though my family's not like crazy, just a bunch of crazy assholes who like don't let him play music, which is a little bit strange. But yeah, visually it looks incredible. Like especially when he first enters the spirit world or whatever it's called, the dead people world, uh, Mexican heaven or whatever, and you see like just buildings on top of buildings. The twist with like the guy not being his grandpa, I kind of saw it coming, but overall thrilling, action-packed, heartwarming, very sad ride. It's about accepting death, which is very mature themes for a kids movie. Like I said, Pixar up to that point was very mature themes, but executed in a way where kids would still be interested in them. I gotta admit though, I kind of got tired of the movie because every single year in Spanish class they'd play it. Because it's like, is this the only Spanish, like, is this the only movie about Mexican people? Like, those more. You don't have to play this one every single time. I've seen it like 5 times, and I really don't want to see it again because every time I watch it, while it still remains good, I feel like it's losing that magic a little bit. So, I've gone a few years without watching it. Maybe it's time to watch it again. I don't know. And last we have Into the Spider-Verse, which is only 5 years old. Uh, that movie's great too. Because of the way they implement so many different styles of animation, and it seems almost seamless. Like even in the same frame, they use different styles of animation, and it still looks really cool. Um, I love Miles Morales' version of Spider-Man. He's a lot different from like just Peter Parker, Peter Parker, Peter Parker. Very different. It's nice to see like a middle-aged Peter Parker, because we never really see like what Spider-Man's like as an adult, and now we get to see it. The villains are great, between Fisk and Octopus Lady, Doctor Octopus. It's a thrilling ride, and I'm really excited for the second one, which I think comes out this year, and then three is gonna come out next year. Um, so, hopefully they live up to the first one. I feel like sequels are very like win or lose. Like, most of the time they're pretty good, but not as good. Sometimes they're way better than the original. Barely ever happens. And then sometimes they're like awful, which I feel like is a lot of the time. Remaining cautiously optimistic. It is by the same directors, so same voice acting. So hopefully it's good. That is my list of top 10 animated movies of all time. What do you guys think? Am I missing anything? Do any of my choices suck? Does anybody out there hate Toy Story 3? Because if you do, what is wrong with you? And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.